Sunday. We should be at church right now. Unfortunately, the schedule and organization of ranch life, or the non-existent schedule of ranch life, it calls, and it doesn't care your plans. And what we want to do is, even though we love it, it just happens. And so what we're trying to do with our channel is just show you guys a life that we have, the good, the bad, the chaos, and the happiness all rolled into one. So this morning we wanted to go to church, and we have a longhorn heifer that decided she can jump and scale like Spider-Man. So we fixed the fence. We should have done a video on that too if anybody's interested. We have plenty of fence to fix most days. But what we're going to do right now, sometimes we use feed buckets, sometimes we do things, but today our daughters are going to be bareback horses, and they're going to get her pushed back in. So follow us along. If you like some of the content you see, just like everybody else, subscribe to us. It really helps us get our videos out there. So please like and subscribe. Thank you guys, and more to come.
Alright, so we are going to walk down here and get our horses. We're in a little bit of a hurry today because the cow got out, and so we're just going to be using our bridles. We're not even going to saddle up. Kinsley has some alfalfa for her horse. He's a little bit of a booger to catch sometimes, and so since we're in a hurry, we don't want it to take too long. And so we're walking down here. The horses are right up by the pony pen, and so we're going to go grab them, and we're going to get this cow back on the property. So here's all the horses. They're up by the pony pen. Kinsley's going to catch her horse, Rowdy, with the bucket. There we go. Makes it a lot easier to catch horses, especially with the incentive of feed. And then she's gonna let him eat some feed, let that be his reward for letting her catch him. And then she's gonna hop on in a minute. Kinsley caught Rowdy, she put the bridle on. Now she's gonna swing up there. Maybe. There we go. Kinsley's hopped on. Now Killian's going to get her horse. I'm trying to find her. There's Smokey. And there's all the other ones. We have like 4 white horses now. That's Lucy and Silver.
Hiding somewhere.
I don't know. We're not seeing it. You gotta keep looking.
There he is.
We found him.
All the way on the other side.
Hello.
We can ride you later.
Yep, you're gonna get ridden later tonight. There's the goats too. We're gonna see if Killian can jump on Titan as beautifully as I did. And you think you can beat me hopping on?
Well, we can see.
Okay. Hang on, let me come over here.
Oh, yeah, I think I lost. I lost. Man.
Alright. We're both on our horses now.
Hurrying up there to the cows. It's kind of bumpy. Let's go get that cow back in. So the cow got out on the neighbor's property, and so we have to go through the gate and hop on their property and go shoo our cow back over. So it's a little bit of ways, but we're gonna get there pretty quick. We're getting closer. She's somewhere over here on this property up here. So we gotta keep a lookout for her and then push her back through this gate.
So it's always important that whenever you're going on someone else's property to get cows, or whenever you have other animals on your farm or ranch, that you always want someone to go ahead of you to get the gate. That way the person behind them, if they see any cows or horses that are following us, thankfully there's none, but if they did, then that person will be able to close the gate in time. Kinsley hopped off. She's gonna go get the gate. Sometimes the carabiners are a little sticky. There we go. If y'all want to know a fun fact, we restrung this fence this summer. So. Alright. Yep. We're actually going to close this gate even though we want to push this cow back through it because of all of our other lovely horses on our property.
We're gonna get her at least close, and then when she's walking down the fence, whenever we have her like trailing down here, then we'll open up the gate. I'll go ahead and do that. Head up, bud.
There we go. Kinsley and I are going to check where this cow is. We're on the neighbor's property right now. This cow is probably going to be near the fence line. She's probably going to be looking for her friends. And so that's what we're doing right now. We're kind of just checking them on the fence line. It's the fence between the neighbor's property and ours. And so that's probably where she's going to be. And so that's where we're checking right now. And we found her. Right along the fence line. There she is. Yep. We're going to push her back to the gate.
There you go.
Yep. So Kinsley is going to keep her on the fence line somewhat because it's easier to push cows if they have a wall. So basically what that means, for those of you guys who've never heard of that term before, is we're going to push this cow along something that she can't push against. I don't know if you can see her, but she's through the brush. More challenging things with working cows and getting them back onto your property is if you live in Oklahoma or a place that has a bunch of holes in your pasture, then you know that it's going to be really hard to catch up with a cow because for one, you don't want your horse to break a leg and you don't want to step in a hole. And so it's a little harder for us to get this cow where we want it to be just because we don't want to snap a horse's leg or anything like that. And so we got to go slow. We got to go push this cow back to the gate in a way where it's safe for the cow and for our horses.
That crazy heifer just went down into the creek and back up the other side. Time to bring in the rest of the family.
All right, so here we are, catching cow part 2. First time was a little rough, bareback, and with only 2 girls out here. So we got the rest of the girls. We got Dad loaded up on the horses. Cadence and I are in the pickup, heading through the neighbor's pasture. It's always good to have nice neighbors who understand the hardships of keeping cattle. And so we have kind of a friendly understanding that his horses or cows get on our property, we help chase them back, and vice versa. So we're over here today trying to catch this lone longhorn that decided to run back to the back corner of our neighbor's pasture across the creek and go on an adventure. So we've got the feed bucket here, a few little cubes in there, just enough to make a good rattly sound when we see her. And I figured between the rattly sound, getting her turned around the right direction, and all the horses, she'll push back towards us and back to the gate where we really want her to be. So that's the goal. We'll see how it goes. Alright, we're going through a sea of very tall grass here. It is just about as tall as the side of the pickup truck here. But there's all our lovely ladies and Dad trying to pinpoint this cow. They're taking us back to where she crossed the creek so that they can navigate from there. We got the pups hiding in the tall grass trying to help us out. You can barely see them popping up their heads every once in a while. But keep you posted, see if we can find her. Okay, so we can hear the heifer out there in the woods, but she is evidently crossed the creek that runs through our neighbor's property. So in order to get her back across the creek without getting the horses down in the river, across the river, back up the bank on the other side, we're going to try to lure her back with some feed. This is where the bucket and the alfalfa cubes come in handy. So she's used to coming to feed when we shake the bucket. So the goal is to shake it and see if we can get her to come back. So I usually just stand here and give it a good little shake, and maybe she will hear that and say, hey, I know that sound. Let's go toward that sound, and she can come to us instead of us trying to chase her down. All right, Cadence and I are on the road now. We're still looking for the missing heifer. She's decided to go. Horse is kind of trekked back in the woods along the creek. Oh, they're up there under the tree now. Seeing if we can find her up here on the road. It's a little smoother for us on the road, huh? Here's the bugger. She made it back across the fence. What have you been up to? You gonna say you're sorry? Alright, at least say you're sorry. Are you gonna do that again? Alright, I'll forgive you.